Hello and welcome to Eastern Neston. You can't believe it? No, neither can I. Look at this sunshine. Normally when I stand here, it's time for storm, tempest, sleet, rain, snow, hail, you name it. But this year, beautiful sunshine for Kickstart and the competition for the Autoglass Trophy. They're all youngsters taking part this year, aged between 12 and 16. It promises to be a jolly good competition. 3 heats, leading 2 riders from each heat will go through to the final. Now, I've got a new co-commentator this year. He's 3 times the British Indoor Trials champion, twice runner-up in the British Championship, and in 1986 he was the winner of Kickstart, John Lampkin.
Oh.
Welcome, John. I know in the past, certainly the past 2 years, you felt that the Kickstart courses have been a bit samey and not really too difficult, but you're rather impressed with this year.
Yeah, it was very, very nice to arrive here and to see that the YMSA have put so much work into the obstacles.
The YMSA, the Youth Motorcycle Sporting Association.
That's correct, yes. All the sections this year are quite different, and I think they're going to prove to be very, very awkward for the riders to do.
Which is the hardest, do you think?
For me, there's 3 obstacles that stick out at the moment. We've got the sleepers. They're very awkwardly placed, and that's a new obstacle for this year.
It's called just riding in a straight line, but with ups and downs, isn't it?
Exactly, but it sounds very simple, but I can assure you it's not. We also have the log section, which is a very, very tight section, which requires a lot of bike control.
That's the limbo to start and then round in the circle, but 2 of them.
Yeah, I think that's going to catch a lot of the riders out, definitely. And also new for this year, we've got the barrel section, which is 3 barrels placed on top of each other.
It's like a pyramid, very nasty.
That's it, very awkwardly placed. And especially for the younger riders, I would think this will be quite difficult.
All right then, John. Well, we've seen all the young riders out there on practice. When it comes to the competition, are they going to perform as well as we've already seen them?
Yeah, like you said, we watched them all yesterday, and they were very, very impressive, to be honest. I mean, it made me feel very glad that I'm not actually riding myself. But as we've proved before in Kickstart in previous years, once the cameras are on, it's a completely different matter. All
right, well, the cameras are going to be on them in just a second now, so let's get over to the start line for a list of the riders and runners. Lee Sargent, who's 13 from Abersychan in Gwent, will go off first. Then goes Juan Knight from Selby in the Isle of Man, who's 15. Wayne Holdsworth from Livehook in Hampshire is 16. Dougie Lampkin, 14 years old, from Keighley in West Yorkshire. And finally, Ian Needham, the 15-year-old from Long Eaton in Notts. On the line then, the youngest rider in this first heat, Lee Sargent from Abersychan in Gwent, riding a Beta 125, as the promoter Nick Britton sets him off on what could well be a very difficult course for him. We start off with a limbo, and it's a double limbo, one of the hardest ones we've actually had ever in Kickstart, which involves almost a figure-8 movement with that pyramid in the middle. Isn't he doing well, John?
Yeah, he's doing excellent. It's always very difficult to go first in the competition, but it can work both ways. If Lee puts in a good ride at the moment, then he's going to put the other riders under pressure.
British C-Class champion in 1989 as he comes down to the waterfall. We've had this in Kickstart often. Riding down really no great problem, but now with the wet wheels and the loose ground, he's got to get up the bank, and he does that well too. Now a new obstacle, and he really attacked that. It has to be feet up. He has to turn the bike round in that area, foot down, and that is a 20-second penalty. All penalties are all the same, 20 seconds, but they have then still to attempt to get out. He's made his attempt. He can now ride out through the exit, but he's got 20 seconds to add to his elapsed time, you can see in the top right-hand corner. Obstacle number 4. Pyramid in that pit. And again, well done. Now, a difficult ride up a bank. And he's down. Another penalty there on the uphill. The ground just slips away from the bike there, doesn't it, John?
Yeah, Lee there wasn't quite quick enough, really. But that bank is much steeper than it looks, and I think that's going to prove to be quite difficult.
I heard the whistle then. That's a stop box. He had to stop on the top. He did it fine. So he's got 40 seconds to add at the moment as he comes down to perhaps the most difficult obstacle on the course. Oh, and that's where he lost it. Again, not really concentrating on his end target and just sliding off. And one more new, innovative obstacle to face over those tyres. And it's a tight way in. This is what makes it difficult. What's the technique for this?
You've got to mainly make sure that you get lined up correctly in the first place.
And with 80 seconds then to add, that makes 3:36.03 is the total for Lee Sargent. This young man is from Sulby in the Isle of Man. Dewan Knight, who's 15, riding a Gas 250. And before anyone writes in to say it should be Juan, it's not. Dewan is Manx for John. This bike, a new bike to me, John, Gas 250.
Yeah, the Gas has only been on the go probably 3 or 4 years now, so it's quite new to the trial scene. But
saw a foot down, by the way, there, so he's already got a penalty in this.
He looks quite pensive at the moment, but hopefully once he gets a job underway, he'll relax a little more.
He doesn't get an extra penalty for knocking the limbo pole over, but he's got 20 seconds to add already. Now, you've ridden that waterfall many times, John. I suppose for these lads, first time, it's a bit of a fright.
No, it is. It's difficult, and the water's running very quickly. It tends to make you lose your balance very easily.
Now, they mustn't touch any of those obstacles inside that turning area, and you really have to attack those barrels, and he's done it very well. You can hear the applause. They well appreciated that.
Yeah, that was a beautiful ride there.
Now then, awkward control down the bottom of that pit and the foot down.
Yeah, didn't quite have his weight far enough back then. Just made the back end of the bike reel a little.
And that was a good climb. The time in the left-hand corner is that set up by Lee Sargent. That's the time that Dewan has to beat. He does the stop box fine. Just 40 seconds to add at the moment as he comes to this long hop across these logs. It's awkward. And he's done that well.
That's beautiful. He looks to have got into a very nice rhythm at the moment.
Now then, what's he going to do with the awkward tyres?
Yeah, he's got to get lined up properly here. That's the secret of this obstacle.
Oh, that's a pretty good ride. He's got 40 seconds to add. 1:54.08, pretty quick and very good. That makes 2:34.08. 16-year-old Wayne Holdsworth from Livehook in Hampshire on a JCM 240 is the next to go. And the course proving difficult in different places for different riders. What's Wayne going to do with it? This limbo really very tight. Caught out young Dewan just before. Can Wayne bounce it round? No, he can't. He's taking his penalty there. Now he's got to get out of there as quickly as possible. He's already got the penalty. He's doing it right. He has to make the attempt, has to cover the course, but he's got 20 seconds to add.
Yeah, that was very quick thinking by Wayne. Just get out of the obstacle as quick as possible.
Into the water. There's a nice little drop there. There's rocks embedded in concrete in that, and well, they haven't thrown them offline, and he's holding it pretty well up the hill. Enters the next section. This one I really expected to cause a lot of problems, but they've been pretty good on it.
I think that throughout the heats we're going to see a few problems here, probably more from the younger riders.
Nearly threw him forward, but well done, out through the exit. That was clean. 20 seconds to add. It really is an evil course in places. There's little holes all... Oh, and the foot down there, just knocked off balance. There's holes where beams and logs have been in previous competitions. They're still there, just make the course that little bit more difficult. Oh, and the foot down on the uphill. He's losing control. Yeah,
Wayne looks to be losing confidence here. Once you've had a few bad obstacles, it's very, very hard to get your confidence back again.
He's now got 4 faults against him, and perhaps the 2 most difficult obstacles on the course still to come. Yes, he gave up on that one. Didn't like it. A whole 100 seconds to add. 1 obstacle to go, but he's not going to be in with a chance, I don't think. And he's ridden it perfectly and finishes in 1:51.6, but he's got 100 to add. That makes 3:31.6 for Wayne Holdsworth. Famous name on the starting line, Dougie Lampkin, 14 years old from Keighley in West Yorkshire on a Beta 125. I guess you know a little bit about this lad, John.
That's it, yeah, it makes me very nervous even watching him. Dougie's father was world champion in 1975, so Dougie's obviously got a lot to live up to here.
All the riders have had practice on this course, but of course, as you said earlier, it's very much the nerves get going when the competition's for real, but he's doing this very neatly. You've been having a walk with him?
That's it, no, he looks to be riding very well at the moment. Let's hope it lasts.
Dougie nearly won this competition about 2 years ago, and was well in the lead and finally made a mess of the very last obstacle. Got stuck, lost his cool, lost his temper, lost the competition. What's he going to do today? Well, in practice he came off there yesterday, so he's learnt a thing or two.
He's had a bit of time to think about it, I think. He's probably been thinking about this obstacle all night.
Can he rock it over? His foot's not down yet. This is... Oh, he's unlucky. 20 seconds to add.
He couldn't quite get his weight far enough forward there.
I should think he'll be cross about that, because he very nearly cleaned it. Travelling fast, and that really is quite important. With 20 seconds to add, he's got to get a move on. Onto the stop box. They have to cross those little bits there and stop, hold it. There goes the whistle. That means it's clean, out through the exit gate. Simple as falling off a log. And we're coming up to a log, he might fall off here.
Yeah. This obstacle is very difficult. I would say one of the most difficult on the course. Dougie rode that beautifully then.
The simple ones are often the hardest, aren't they? It's just keeping a straight line and different heights. You just got to bump the bike across.
Yeah, there's a lot of technique involved with the sleeper section.
He's only got 20 to add to this. He's going into the lead. That's excellent. 2:03.24. That makes 2:23.24 for Dougie Lampkin. Last to go then in this heat, 15-year-old Ian Needham from Long Eaton in Nottinghamshire. Again on one of these new Spanish bikes, a Gas 250. And John, he was your partner, wasn't he, in the Pro-Am 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
Yeah, he was an excellent partner. He's probably one of the most improved riders over the last year.
And he started off very quickly here. He was actually third in the... Oh, a foot down. That's a bit careless.
This is often what happens. If you try and ride the obstacles quickly, it's much easier to make mistakes. It's sometimes better to try and ride slowly.
I was just going to say he was third in the Youth Motorcycle Sporting Association 6-day trial, which is quite a prestigious competition, and all the marshals today are provided by the YMSA. Well, 20 seconds to add. He knows that he's got to really go flat out over the rest of this course, because Dougie's time to beat. The fastest two go through to the final, but of course they have 2 runs on this course, 1 in each direction, so we're only coming up to the halfway point of the competition today.
Yeah, there's a long way to go yet, definitely.
You had to heave that out of it, nearly lost it.
It was very well controlled there.
That's a very steep bank. It's a tremendous ride. I mean, I look at it, it's hard to walk up, I'll tell you. And now a drop down of the same order, and those nasty little logs in the way just to slow them down, make it a little bit more difficult. And now the straight line ride. Oh, he's making... Oh, I was going to say he was making it look easy. He didn't. He made a mess of it. And that's 40 seconds to add. He's going to be very cross about that. Over the tyre pole. And he's in there at 1:43.7, but plus 40. Careless mistakes there. 2:23.7. He's just in second place after that first run. Confirmation of that then, Dougie Lampkin leads after the first part of the heat in 2:23.24 seconds, with Ian Needham just half a second behind, 2:23.7. Duan Knight managed 2:34.08, and they're followed up by Wayne Holdsworth, 3:31.6, and Lee Sargent, 3:36.03.